are live. Sudds-R-Us.
Every single week around the concepts of the circle of love. Circle of love. We focus on God, marriage, family, and life. Greetings, my brothers and sisters.
Hello. It's been a minute.
Welcome. Yes,
we are back.
Yes, it has.
Woo.
Episode 181.
Yes,
God
sir.
is still blessing us. We're still on the receiving end. And as we continue in season 7, we're just thankful to God for all he's doing, all he continue to do in our lives. And
yes, Lord.
I know episode 180 was back in March. We took April off, my birthday month.
Yeah, we did.
A lot going on. We're back.
Ooh, still got a lot going on. We carved out some time, y'all. We did.
We had to come before you today.
This is a good one.
We're excited about what God has placed on our hearts. So we just ready to get into it. But we want to make sure you review what we did in episode 180. Back in March, it was life/women's history. Mm-hmm. And our topic was the navigating quilts of the Underground Railroad. And subtopic, we talked about the truth, the myths, and the history behind the quilt codes and how they affected the slaves' route to freedom.
Right.
And the secret messages that were formed of quilt patterns, how it helped the slaves escape the bonds of captivity in the southern states before and during the Civil War. Mm-hmm. But today we're going to focus on the family. We're going to focus on the family in this great month of May. And our topic is the apple tree, tree. And subtopic is apples don't fall far from the tree. Mm-hmm. So is that a negative or a positive phrase? And why do we use the apple fruit instead of an orange or a peach or even a pear fruit for this particular proverb?
Right. So we thank you so much for you that are joining live and for you that will catch the replay. We don't mind that, catch it which way you can, but
that's right.
We certainly appreciate you tuning in. But we definitely got to give a shout out to our son, who is the engineer behind this network.
Yes.
BS3 Network. In case you wonder what that was, that's Ben Sutter III, our boss man, if you will.
All right, the pod father.
Himself. And we so appreciate his leadership. We say it jokingly, but it's a blessing to work with our son. If you're watching, son, it truly is a blessing. And thank you for getting us up and running on this podcasting arena.
Yes.
But we invite you to just take a look at all that BS3 has to offer. We're going to give you a little snippet. But to all of our fellow podcasters on this great network, keep doing what you're doing. We're all in this together.
That's right.
But we're going to give you a quick snippet of what it's all about, and we'll be right back.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right. Let's get into it. The apple tree. Now, the positive versus the negative aspect of the apple tree phrase. Now, do you ever feel like your life is being mapped out for you when your behavior and your career interests are similar to your parents? See, American culture often pressures us into following a prescribed path. Study hard, get a good education, earn your degree, and also go for your master's degree, land a great job, climb the corporate ladder, find a great partner, get married,
right?
Have children, then retire,
right?
Travel, and then help out with your grandchildren. See, this plan is often fine until it doesn't work for you. Are some of these traits inherited, or are they learned from our parents? So it's a part of our DNA, or is our family genetic code to behave a certain way, or are we pursuing a particular career path, lifestyle from their example?
Wow.
See, it highlights the influence of family, indicating that children are deeply influenced by the family tree. Parents, grandparents, great-grandparents.
That's right.
They all grow up under that particular tree. There are a lot of funeral homes and law firm businesses with the family tree. You got the father, mother, including their children and their grandchildren, because they follow in their footsteps. So what's the origin of all of this? The origin, while we often use in English today, similar proverbs exist in German and also in Russian. And some sources trace it back to the older, even the earlier traditions. And also we got them, them synonyms, similar to apple don't fall far from a tree. What we have? We have like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, or chip off the old block.
Right.
But what if it doesn't unfold according to your family's prescription? Maybe school isn't your best option, or your career path is uncertain. Maybe financially or even your personal setbacks delay your dream, or relationships change unexpectedly, or you have a certain tragedy or an accident or something happenstance that happened to happen in your life that you didn't predict. They can also persuade you to go another direction, or even cause you from even a medical condition to go another direction.
Wow.
But when family plans are disrupted, it can feel like you failed with your habit, because genetic template is just a suggestion, my brothers and sisters, not a definition, not a definitive plan for your life. God has given us a unique calling, a special purpose, and also a special provision for our individual lives. Listen to Isaiah 34:10. It says, "It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever." And then Job 42:2 says, "I know that thou canst do everything, and thou no thought can be withholden from thee." So regardless of our bloodline, we have separate desires and admirations that come from our hearts, our minds, and our soul, separate from our ancestors or our parents. But the key spiritual meaning and interpretation of generational recognition by fruit is drawn specifically from Matthew 7:16-17. Matthew 7:16-17, it says, "You should know them by their fruits." It says, "Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs or thistles? Even so, every good fruit bringeth forth good fruit. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit." So this phrase suggests, like a tree, a person's inner character is revealed by their actions or fruits, inherited the nature of their source. But there's a generational pattern. It's called a karmic. It suggests that a strong, often inevitable connection to our lineage and upbringing, both positive virtues, kindness, and negative virtues, patterns of dysfunction, or poor choices are inherited. Then there's the power of the good foundation. Highlights that a healthy environment, nurturing soil, tends to produce healthy spirits, while a chaotic, toxic environment produces damaged fruit. Then there's the individual choice and separation. While the apple lands near the tree, it can be picked and used differently, indicating that individuals can grow or choose to grow differently and overcome inherited behavior or spiritual patterns. Then the spiritual allegiance is that it can represent what we as spiritual beings align ourselves with. We become like the tree, the people or beliefs we choose to associate with. Which brings me to Psalms 1 and 3. It says, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaves also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So I believe, my brothers and sisters, that we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. No purpose of ours can be thwarted by our family history or our bloodline. If we follow God first, and then our individual desires, and then pray for strength to follow our desires, and not be led astray by the desires of this world. We have to be witness. Because we witness both sides in our family.
Right.
We witness both sides of the coin, positive and negative emotion, behaviors exemplified by the children from their parents. So regardless of that, no mistake or setback by our family can cancel what God has in store for our lives. Our life's journey is meant to be different from others. Not everyone will take the same path.
Right.
Some don't desire marriage. Some pursue non-traditional careers and some unique dreams. But that's not a problem. Just like an apple tree, we all grow in our own ways.
That's right.
And contribute to our own beauty. No two apples look exactly alike. But if the roots are strong, and if it's planted in good ground, and it's planted in good soil and a strong foundation, all the apples are healthy. Which brings me to Philippians 1 and 6. Being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it unto the day of Jesus Christ. So we're growing. We're growing in our own way, in God's timing. Frustrations or impatience is part of the process. Trust yourself. And trust God's perfect timing for your unique path. When we feel pressure to follow society's prescribed path, how do we remind ourselves that God has a unique plan specifically for us? How can we trust God's timing when our life doesn't look like our parents, our siblings, our uncle, our aunt, or our cousin? What does it mean to have Job 42 and 2 that says no purpose of yours be thwarted, especially when you face setbacks or unexpected changes in your plan? Essentially, the proverb serves as a reminder to consider our roots while acknowledging our responsibility and intentionally cultivate our own spiritual path.
That good old apple tree. You know what? I always consider that, as a positive thing. Especially as I began to reflect upon my childhood experiences of when we used to climb up the tree and shake the limbs and get them apples to fall off the tree. But
That's
apples were then we thought were just delicious, right? And back then, you know what, we had the real organic. We don't know if this stuff is organic or not. They just put that price tag on it and put that big O on it. We just, eat it up. But it's just like we didn't have any pesticide. That was what you call really homegrown. And we also took the saying to heart An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Because back then, I mean, we were required in North Carolina. You know, you clean up on Saturdays.
Right.
And because during the week you had to do homework, you know, watch a little TV, you going to bed after dinner.
That's right.
So we'd be outside in that hot sun, right? Mama say, just go outside and play. And it was hot and muggy. And we didn't have water bottles like these children had today. What did we have? The water hose or the spigot, right? So snacks, that was our snack, you know, going up our neighbor's tree. There's an apple tree in my neighborhood, a pear tree, a pecan, and a walnut tree. So you're talking about those were treats for us.
I'm telling you.
But I remember seeing the apples that just fell off the tree, right? Which made our lives so much easier because that way we didn't have to climb up the tree getting all scratched and scraped up. But except for the ones, now we know when they fell off the tree, then the insects thought that was a treat for them. So that attracted the bees and the flies and the ants and just got rotten. And then my grandmother used us, you know, we were the pickers to go get those that weren't fully ripened. So she could make the applesauce and the preserves and the jelly. But I know I said a lot about my upbringing, but I had to set this thing up. There's a purpose. And so it relates to the saying that says apples don't fall far from the tree, which is a quote, by the way, by Ralph Waldo Emerson in 1839. Isn't that something? But let's go back to these premature apples that just drop and they drop close to the tree. You know, drop being the key word. This reminds me of the babies and the young children and the young adults. And they stay close. They might get dropped, if you will, under that parental influence that's not positive. And then they stay close because that's the developmental stage that they are in. But unfortunate thing is that they are dropped by being brought up in an unhealthy environment that are dysfunctionally lacking the nurturing and the discipline and the structure. Children need structure. They don't think they do, or they claim they don't, but they do.
They do.
And they need that to thrive and to make it in this world. So that's why so many of us see children that are being forced. They have no other choice but to be an adult. They're so young and so immature, but they don't have the know-how, if you will, to do so. And so the habits that they were subjected to, that they visualize, it leads to similarities, whether positive or negative. And in a lot of cases, it's the negative. So we've heard of the saying of a child acting like their mother or their father. Now, depending on the mother and the father, we've seen examples on both ends that could be a positive meaning and appreciation of a talent or a skill that they have picked up, or a negative in terms of a flawed personality, a trait, or even a tendency to get into trouble or mischief or no good, up to no good, just like your dad. You know, we've heard that a lot. So sometimes a premature dropping is because there was never a mature landing, a landing that will equip the young child with love and self-esteem and coping skills and mechanisms, self-confidence, self-love, self-esteem, respect, and God forbid, just basic morals and values, a clear path. We set them up. We try to set them up to succeed and even exceed us, and to have sustainability in that. So there was never an opportunity for a child to see the positivity in most of these cases of the apple tree. So in essence, those who are dropped experience the insects of the world. And the rottening begins to take place. And their very character, it starts to decay. And what else do they do? Some of them never get a chance to prepare in life. And if they don't have that foundation, how can they? That mental fortitude, that emotional and physical determination. And I'm not going to go down that path. and to make their lives more meaningful than what they saw.
Yeah.
So some of us may have experienced something like that. I know I did. And I always say, if you're a frequent viewer of the Sudds-R-Us podcast, I made it my business at a young age to not duplicate some of the things that I experienced. Or we've, of course, nobody can say they don't, because it happens in every family, that have gone down the same path as their parents. But our parents, I'm just speaking for us, the two of us, we're not perfect. We weren't perfect as parents. However, look at us now. You know, the things that we decided that we were going to do. But we knew we were loved.
That's it.
We knew we were held close. Some of us, you know, had to be in strict households, you know, godly households. You know, they were craziness, but God was still in the midst. And thank God he protected us. He kept our minds and guided and guarded us with that instinct and that relentlessness, that tenacity. That's what I appreciate. You know, a lot of people in our age groups that made it out, you know, that mental fortitude I talked about, that emotional, that physical determination to make our lives more meaningful than what we saw and what we experienced. So if you're watching and you know somebody that needs this, please share this podcast. This is really from our heart. And a lot of times we just watch the young people go down those paths, but we can help them, you know, even with our testimony, we can help them. So let's do that. Let's move on to part 2.
That's good. That's good. I tell you, powerful. Let's look at the biblical aspect. So the question is, why do we say Eve was given an apple versus another fruit?
We say that.
Why do we say Eve was given an apple?
We say
versus
that.
Another fruit. Well, if you look at it closely, my brothers and sisters, apples spiritually symbolize knowledge, immorality, temptation, and love. Acting as a bridge between the divine and earthly realm across various traditions. They often represent abundance, fertility, and the rewards of hard work, frequently associated with autumn, healing, and self-knowledge. So knowledge and wisdom stemming from the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. Apples symbolize self-knowledge and pursuit of wisdom. Then you got love and fertility. In Greek mythology, apples were associated with Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and given as gifts to symbolize romance, desire, and fertility. Then you have the immortality or the renewal. Celtic tradition often views apples as a symbol of divine immorality and the promise of a golden age or life everlasting. Then you have abundance and gratitude. Right during the autumn, apples symbolize the harvest, appreciation for nature's bounty and rewards of labor. Then you have healing and health, known as the gift of God. Apples are connected to long life, vitality, and renewal. Then you have the symbolic core. So when you cut a horizontal apple, when you cut an apple horizontally, the core creates a star, a pinnacle, pattern, which some traditions interpret as a symbol of the hidden divinity within nature. So the apple of my eye, biblically, this phrase represents something precious, cherished, and requiring protection, which gives me Deuteronomy 32:10. Deuteronomy 32:10, it said, he found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. So this Bible, the biblical connotation mentioned apples primarily as symbols of sweetness and beauty and refreshing fruit, notably in the Song of Solomon and Proverbs, rather than as the forbidden fruit of Eden. While traditionally associated with Adam and Eve, the forbidden fruit is never identified as an apple in Scripture, but rather as an unspecified fruit. Because of temptation and sin, Christian tradition often portrays the apple as a forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, right? Representing the fall of man,
right,
and the choice between good and evil. But there's a misconception of the forbidden fruit because no explicit identification in the book of Genesis does it identify the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil as an apple. So the origin of this tradition, the idea that apple as a forbidden fruit likely arose from a Latin pun, where malleus means both evil and apple, a form of medieval art. Alternative fruit, many scholars believe in the fruit of Eden was more likely a fig, a pomegranate, or a grape based on that region's botany. So key biblical references. Apple is a symbol of beauty and sweetness, not of sin and temptation. The apple tree is used to describe the beauty of the beloved, and its fruit is noted for being sweet to the taste. Solomon 2:3, it says, as the apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under the shadow with the great delight, and the fruit was sweet to my tastes. Comfort and refreshment, apples are associated with the comfort and refreshment symbolically in the phrase of Song of Solomon 2:5. It says, sustain me with raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am sick with love. And the apples of gold, Proverbs 25:11 uses the metaphor. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver, symbolizing value or timely advice. Wow. So a valuable core of John 1:12 mentions the apple tree among valuable cultivated trees like the vine and the fig. Nothing is withering as a sign of loss. Listen to this, Joel 1:12. It says, the vine is dried up and the fig tree languisheth, the pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, and the apple tree. Even all the trees of the field are withered because joy is withered away from the sons of men.
Wow. All of that's positive to me.
That's
you
right.
know, all of that's positive. It kind of reminded me though of the fairy tale. You remember the fairy tale? Snow White. Now, what was up with that apple?
Right.
I mean, she tried to kill the girl.
Right.
Poison. Like, you know, you always get these, there's always this negative connotation, no matter what.
No matter what.
It is. And I'm like, that's a fairy tale. That's supposed to be pleasant.
Right.
But nevertheless, I don't know how I came up with that, but we're going to stick with the biblical and the positive aspect of it. Right. And just leave Eve alone because we don't know what that fruit was. An apple versus a pear. Did you have something else?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is what I consider a powerful statement. And not that the apple in some cases is positive and negative, but in this case, the apple tree is considered a negative and the pear is the positive.
Right.
But that statement is a breaking a generational curses or cycles.
Okay.
And then purposefully choosing. We have a choice. As I said in my earlier days, I had a choice.
Right.
You got to purposefully, intentionally choose a different path than the one you were raised in or surrounded by.
That's right.
Look, this could be a situation that's very prominent in our people.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, I mean, not all families, I'm not throwing us all in the same bucket, but a lot of families are going through this, especially our youngsters today. And if they think about it, they can turn that thing around and make more meaning out of their lives and the lives of the people that they impact. It could be totally different.
That's right.
So apples don't fall from the tree refers to children inheriting the traits, behaviors, and sometimes the limitations or the limited mindsets of their parents and the surroundings. The more negative connotation of the apple fall is that it implies that you can't change your nature or escape your upbringing. But I beg to differ. You can.
You can. That's right.
You can. And it all depends. I can't say it enough on your spiritual mindset.
That's right. That's right.
And your determination, your will, your strong will.
Right.
To make a change. And you can grow yourself into a pear tree, a peach tree, whatever tree, plum, I don't care what it is. If the apple is your negative, you make your own decision.
That's right.
But do not go where the path may lead you. Go instead where there is a path. Where there is no path and leave a trail.
That's it.
Let me say that again, because that's another quote. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a profound man. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail.
There you go.
This is a call, in my opinion. This is a declaration, a personal declaration. And this can be a transformation.
That's right.
An evolution. That means that you're deciding that you will not inherit toxic traits.
There you go.
Limiting beliefs, even about yourself.
That's right.
Dysfunctional behaviors. You are choosing to bear different fruit, good fruit.
Good fruit.
So avoid that apple tree if you've got to. Be talked about. Take it from me. It's okay if you be talked about. That's a good thing. Be admired. Dare to be different. This is about setting firm boundaries for yourself and also for others. And if necessary, creating distance from toxic people. And yes, that might include your family.
Right.
Toxic environments to ensure that your new growth isn't stunted.
That's it. That's it.
Or that you're, God forbid, forced back into your old patterns. Remember, nothing can separate you from the love of God. If you got the love of God, what they say, if God be for us, who can be against us? Who cares?
That's right.
Who cares? God can break every yoke.
Yes, he can.
And you've got the authority to walk in your freedom.
That's right.
In God's love and establish a new pattern. With God, you can set out a new path for the next generation.
Yes.
Get that. You be the trendsetter. You be admired and visualized by the next generation so that they'll be like, wow, let me follow that.
Yes.
But let me do my own thing in the process. Encourage yourself, though, because it may be a lonely journey.
Yeah.
Let me just prepare you for that. And that's okay. You can be okay in your loneliness. And even though they consider you to be bougie and uppity and standoffish, oh well. Focus your energy on bearing that good fruit in your life.
That's right.
And be who you want to be. Because to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment.
That's right.
That's another Ralph Waldo Emerson. The boy was bad. Be yourself.
That's it. That's it.
And remember this prayer, Psalm 17 and 8. Listen to this. This is for you to consider on your journey. Keep me as the apple of your eye.
Yes.
And hide me in the shadow of your wings. That's protection right there.
Right. That's right.
He got his eyes on you, but he's protecting you all at the same time. But there's also a saying for us to consider. Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Right, right. That's it.
Meaning, be careful about sabotaging your own life by making foolish mistakes. Isn't that what you're trying to do? Create a new path? And that's what you saw in the past. Folks shooting themselves in the foot, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, or inadvertently, as I said before, doing or saying something that jacks up your success. And creates unexpected problems, not just for you, but for others as well. And so don't play the victim when you do that either. Woe is me. They did that. Did you make that decision? It's about the choices that we make.
That's right.
So to us as God's children, Proverbs 7:1-3 reads, my son, and that includes us, and men, women, boys, girls, whatever it is, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live.
That's right.
And my law as the apple of thine eyes. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart.
That's right.
It's God's word that's going to lead and guide you in life. It's your roadmap.
That's right.
Do you have a Bible? That's what it is. It's your roadmap. You need that.
That's right.
But let's talk about that spiritual and that mental fortitude, that physical and that mental determination, because it's what you need to be the different in this world. We need different in this world.
That's right. That's right.
And our Father, I don't know if you know this, he's rich.
Yes, he is.
He's rich in houses and land.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Psalms 50:10 says, he owns the cattle upon 1,000 hills.
That's right.
So he holds the world in the palm of his hand. Rubies and diamonds, silver and gold.
That's right.
I'm a child of the King wherever I go. Those are lyrics to a song that I was singing at a young age. And I still believe that. So why should I be bound? Why should you be bound by your past and the things that you experience when God has set you free? So why should I be bound when Jesus died for you and me?
That's right.
He wants abundance for us.
That's it. That's it.
Here on earth.
Yes,
so we should lack nothing. So the art, the journey, the mission of transforming yourself requires intentionality.
That's right.
Here's what I did. I identified the apple traits, the behaviors from my background, my upbringing that I did not want to continue.
Right.
So write them down. You know what they are. I knew exactly what mine were. And then define your pear, your peach, your plum, whatever it is, traits, and begin to intentionally and actively cultivate those characteristics that you value, that you want. Yeah, and you need to write those down as well. Make them big and make them visible. And then break away. You know, when you get to that point where you're like, okay, I got to do better. Break away and seek new environments. That's what we did. We had to get out of Dodge.
That's right.
We were sinking and swimming all at the same time, but we got out of Dodge and God helped us to surround ourselves around good, godly people who reflected that positivity that we so much deserved and looking for, who reflected who we wanted to become and not who we were told that we were going to be.
That's right.
And finally, start that healing, growth, and therapeutic process and that path that's needed. So do some self-reflection to bring forth that sunlight and the water that's going to help you grow into that new tree.
That's it.
I'm almost done. I read this profound statement this week that really, really spoke life into me. Biology or upbringing is influence, not destiny.
That's right.
So with the Lord as your guide, you have the power to create a new path and a new pattern for your life. And also add this scripture to your spiritual toolbox. Matthew 19:26, it says, with God, all things are possible. So we hope you were encouraged today. Please share this with somebody. Share this with somebody.
Thank you so much. That's powerful. We really appreciate the opportunity to share.
Yes, Lord. Thank you.
Apple don't fall far from a tree. It's telling you, it's powerful. And with what's going on in these days' time, we have to make sure that we stay focused on God's purpose for vision and also plan for our life.
Yes.
Don't get caught up in what we're doing or what our family is doing, but what God instructs us to do, which brings us to our closing scripture.
That's right.
Is Leviticus 26:3-5. Leviticus 26:3-5. It says, if you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely.
Wow.
God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend.
God bless you. Thank you again for tuning in. We are live. Sudds-R-Us.
Every single week around the concepts of the circle of love. Circle of love. We focus on God, marriage, family, and life.